Hi, I'm Jan Mirchandani from Marketing Cafe, and welcome to this fourth and final installment of our Summer Lunchbox series of online marketing webinars. Today I want to take a look at search engine optimization. SEO often has a bad reputation, mostly because of the many purveyors or so-called experts of SEO like to make it seem as if SEO is some sort of magic that only they can perform, and that the typical small business owner can't really understand SEO because of its sometimes technical nature. I'd like to disabuse you of that notion and show you how you can use SEO to help build your website so that it places well in the search engines. So let's take a look at how we can do that. SEO is no way, shape, or form any kind of magic. Search engine optimization is very simply how you are communicating with the search engines to let them know what your pages are all about. It's important to realize as you think about your SEO that it's not your site that's getting ranked, it's individual pages on your site that are getting ranked. So think about searches that you've performed online if you're looking for something in particular. You're not getting individual websites, you're getting a list of individual pages that the search engines feel are a good match for that particular search that you've just performed. So start to think about your SEO in terms of how you are doing the SEO for those individual pages and making sure that you're implementing the techniques that we're going to be talking about on all of the pages on your website. And if you're using these techniques consistently across all of your pages over time, then what will happen is your website in general will start to perform well for a variety of searches around topics that are relevant for your business. The best place to start is with the really easy stuff, what we call low-hanging fruit. For example, make a decision about whether you want to include the www or not as part of your URL. So say, for example, you decide you don't want to include the dubs as part of your URL. Go ahead and set up a 301 redirect so that all of the dubs get redirected to the non-dub version of the page. For example, if somebody types in www.mywebsite.com, they get automatically redirected to mywebsite.com. And what that does is it doesn't allow the page to basically fight itself between the dubbed version and the non-dubbed version. The one version that you go with will get all of that SEO rank. The other thing that you want to do is make sure that you're using Google Webmaster Tools to verify that you, in fact, are the owner of your own website. What that does is it helps to establish your authority and your legitimacy, so to speak, so that your website and those individual pages rank a little bit better. Another easy item to tackle is submitting new pages to search engines so that they get indexed faster. Basically, that just means that they're going to get found in the search engine results somewhere. And having said that, just bear in mind that most content management systems such as WordPress are built on a platform that really maximizes SEO results anyway. So maybe you just want to focus on submitting really important pages, stuff with brand new content, rather than submitting all of your new pages every time you create something new. Something else that you really want to make sure you avoid is losing focus as you add content to your website. This often happens when, you kind of start with, well, we only need 5 pages, and you start with a very basic website or even sometimes a more robust website. And then what will happen is, as you find the need to add additional content, rather than creating additional pages, you just sort of cram it into what you've already got. Resist the urge to do this. You'll only end up with a hodgepodge of content on only a handful of pages. Think about it in terms of when you're mixing paint colors. The more different colors you add, you really end up with just something that looks an awful lot like mud. So as you add new content, make sure you have new pages to place that content on. Something else you want to really be mindful of is how long it takes your page to load. We've all been on websites that, you wait around for, a second or two, and if things are still popping up and you're still waiting, you move on. Most people will wait around for about maybe 2 seconds. Google actually is looking for a page load time of under a half a second. And that's fairly easy to achieve as long as you are mindful of the kinds of images in particular that you are adding to your page. So as you add images, you want to make sure that you are compressing those images and making sure that they're web friendly. For example, you don't need a high-res image for your website. DPI of 72 is sufficient, more than sufficient for your online needs. So if you have a high-res image that maybe you are multi-purposing from an offline advertisement, for example, make sure that you convert that so that it's a low-res image and it's compressed, and then you can load it and it will load for your visitors very quickly and efficiently. So as you add all of these individual new pages around very narrowly defined topic areas, make sure that you're also being unique in your meta descriptions and your meta titles. These are this is information that your readers don't actually ever see, but it's very important for the search engines. It's not so much important in terms of how they rank you over the last few years. It's actually become less important. But where it remains relevant is when your page shows up in the search results. So as somebody searches for a specific topic and now you're placing well and you're showing up in those search results, that individual searcher now is using those as guides to which page are they actually going to click on to see if that page does indeed have the information that they're looking for. So for example, your meta title is what shows up with that clickable link. It's what people see as the title for the page in that list of search results. Your meta description is that little paragraph that will show up then under that clickable link as being a description about what is actually on that page. So while, again, it's less important for where you actually show up in the search results, it remains relevant really for the person who's actually doing the search. When you create a page for your website and you're creating new copy, very often you're going to have a link from within that copy to another place on your website or perhaps another website. The copy, the words and the text that you're using to anchor that link are called anchor text. What you want to do is use that anchor text as descriptively as you can. Back in the day, we would just simply say, click here or read more. Didn't really provide a whole lot of information. Now we're getting smarter. Use descriptive text such as product specifications or our complete list of services if that's where you're sending your readers. You want to make sure that you're keeping it natural. You don't want to have something that's keyword stuffed. Use the copy as you already have it on the page and just place those anchors, those text anchors, where they make sense. If you're getting a link on another website, say for example you've written a guest blog piece for somebody and now they're adding that article on their website, providing a link to your website, and ask them if they will include not just a link to your website but use your company name and a brief descriptive text anchor to support that link. The other thing you want to bear in mind is that keywords are the name of the game in SEO. So you want to avoid jargony terms. You want to use terms that people are actually searching for. So for example, you may rank extremely well for magenta writing implements, for which absolutely no one is searching, and rank very poorly for purple pens, which a slew of purple people are actually searching for. So keep in mind, it's not about using jargon that you think is going to make you sound more impressive. It's using terms that people are actually using to find things that they are actually looking for. So keep things natural sounding. Use your analytics to help you determine what those search terms might be, and then write content around those keywords. So while it's important to write the copy for your pages around narrowly defined specific topics and use keywords that people are actually using to find topics related to their interest, you want to make sure that you're avoiding stuffing those keywords, because when you start to say keywords over and over again throughout your page about keywords, you start to sound keywords a little ridiculous. So keep it natural, avoid using jargons, don't stuff the page full of these keywords that you want to rank for, and start to mix it up a little bit. Don't always use that same keyword. You can start to use phrases of importance relative to whatever the topic is that you're writing around, and that will create depth to the page. It will make it sound more natural, and it will also kind of diversify the search terms for that specific page, but still keep the page on a very narrowly defined topic. I mentioned this in our last session on Google Analytics, but I'm going to mention it again because it's really so important. Make sure that you have some sort of analytics, either Google Analytics or some other software, already installed on your website. Even if you're not going to use it right away, even if you don't think that you're going to be ready to start acting on that information for 3 to 6 months or even maybe longer, at least have it there ready and collecting data so that when you are able to start to slice and dice the information and to act on the metrics that that package provides you, you actually have some history to draw from. If you wait until you're ready to look at the information, but you don't have the software installed, you're going to be ready to move, but not have anything to act on. So get the information, get the analytics package installed now, and just sit on it if you have to. And then when you're ready to move, you'll have the information that you're looking for. As a final word of caution, beware of buying links. I don't think that many people are doing that anymore. It's certainly been widely publicized as being an ill-advised practice, but there are certainly still places out there that are advocating paying for links. And basically what that entails is you go to another website and you give them money to provide a link to their readers to your website. And Google, it has long been on to this as a black hat practice, meaning it is not something that reputable SEO practitioners engage in. Any inbound links from other websites should be relevant links, meaning their content should be in some way related to the content that you provide on your website. There should be a reason why their visitors would be interested in reading more about your content on your website. And that should be really done as a service to their readers. There may be some instances where it would be natural for you to provide payment, perhaps in terms of an advertisement or something of that nature. But just out and out buying links from other websites has long been not a good practice that Google has actively recommended against participating in, and in fact you will actually get dinged if they find that you are actively pursuing this strategy of search engine optimization. So what are the takeaways from today's session? Well, the first thing, and undoubtedly the most important thing, is that you understand that SEO is not magic. There are techniques and tools that you can use for your website that just need to be applied consistently across all of your pages over time as you continue to build your website. Also, make sure that you're not neglecting the easy stuff, that low-hanging fruit we talked about. Make sure that you're growing your website so that each page that you create, you end up with a lot of pages that have a narrow topic rather than just a few, maybe a handful of pages that have a lot of information crammed on them. Make sure also that you're optimizing your images so that your pages continue to load quickly. Make sure that you're using your meta titles and your meta descriptions so that when you actually show up in the search results, you're enticing those searchers to click through and visit your website. Make sure that you're leveraging anchor text so that you are giving the search engines and your human visitors information about the page to which you're sending them. Don't use jargon. It's really just annoying, and the only person really that it impresses is your mother. So make sure that you're providing real terms that real people are using to search for your services, your products that you're selling, so that they can really understand what it is that you're offering. Get analytics set up on your website yesterday so that you have some information to use when you're ready to start leveraging the metrics. And most importantly, don't buy links. You want the link building to happen naturally over time as other websites find your information and provide that information to their readers in a natural way. So I hope that you found this information useful. As always, if you have any questions about anything that we've covered, feel free to get in touch with us at 914-806-7720 or visit our website at westchestermarketingcafe.com. Thanks.